Just when you thought that you were never going to get another time loop movie, you get another time loop movie. I guess now we're kind of reliving this or having kind of a deja vu moment, at least me personally. I know we had Palm Springs and then we had the map of tiny perfect things as well. And so that just comes to mind recently because we've been getting a lot of them. But this time it is a straight action film written and directed by Joe Carnahan. There were a few other writers as well, but it's a team up against, more of a rivalry, but definitely it is Frank Grillo, Mel Gibson, and Naomi Watts. And what I liked about this movie is it is more style over substance. And that's not always a bad thing, excuse me. And I feel like we do kind of judge movies for being style over substance these days, and I do it myself as well. But this movie I had a great fun time with. I actually enjoyed it way more than the Map of Tiny Perfect Things, because while there is a love interest and while there is a romance, it's more about Frank Grillo trying to save Naomi Watts rather than himself. And it is interesting that that is what the movie is about once you see how their relationship plays out to be, because it's not perfect by any means. I did just realize I do need to turn up my brightness a little bit for you. So there we go. It's now brighter and hopefully you can see me a bit better. But I will say that we do get to know what day he is on specifically, what attempt this is, and we do go back and see his other attempts as well. I honestly should make a separate video just to have a kill count of how many times that he dies or how many times he kills other people in this film, because it would be a lot. And I know for films like Wrong Turn, people have been doing that as well, which I still need to watch myself. So maybe one day we'll get a video of that for Boss Level. But overall, I don't want to get too much into the story, otherwise spoilers will happen, and this is a spoiler-free review, as are all of my reviews on this channel. Having said that, this may be one of my shorter reviews, if not the shortest, because we have gotten so many time loop movies so far this year, and I've already reviewed one as well. I don't want to repeat anything I may have said for that video, because it just wouldn't be true for this movie, because this is a different movie. And while it is about the action, and while it is very much about Frank Grillo's day that he is repeating, it's more about the other characters than him himself, even though he is the main protagonist, and that is who we are following. We do realize, though, that he's just a pawn in a game, and even though we do need him all the way throughout, it may not be him that should be the protagonist, though, because of the other people that are involved with this project, which he eventually does figure out. So I do love the fact that we get to follow him and that he is the protagonist, but just seeing it from a different perspective, he may not actually be, which I thought the film was very smart for expressing and for at least acknowledging these themes, that there are so many other people involved, and while it is a game to Frank Grillo, it's very much real to the family that he did abandon and to him later on in the film, and we do get to see his process of not caring and then caring, kind of like in Palm Springs or the Map of Tiny Perfect Things. There's always these time where these characters don't care about the fact that they are reliving the same day. So that's where all the attempts come from, and the newest attempt that he's on now, which is the day that he is repeating, he definitely goes back and forth between those two emotions, and as he figures out more about why it is that he is reliving this day, then that's when the movie starts to become bigger than just a video game, and more suspenseful and more heavy action-packed, and Frank Grillo actually becomes the figure that he was wanting to be years ago and may have not been able to step up to the plate. So for an action movie, it very does center on the male character, but a flawed one at that, and this is a fun movie, though, so you aren't supposed to take it too seriously, and by the end, he does learn his lesson, and we do get to have a nice conclusion with a bit of a twist on the same day time loop movies, which I liked a lot. In each time loop movie, I feel like we are getting newer advances to the genre and adding on to this type of film that we are getting a lot more of recently. at least more recently. I will say as well, I did enjoy the hell out of this film. It's got a great cast, it's got a fun energy, and definitely one of the lighter films this year, even though it is filled with violence. That's kind of the whole point. So either you'll like it or you won't. But it is on Hulu, so definitely do check it out if you have Hulu. Or if you can use a friend's, definitely go and try to do that if they let you. But yeah, so I do wish Joe Carnahan, though, would go back to more serious movies like The Grey. I'm a huge fan of that film, and again, Frank Grillo appeared in that movie as well. So it's good to see him working with Joe Carnahan again. We'll always be on board for that. And yeah, so now I'm going to go ahead and give my rating for the movie. On Letterboxd, I gave the movie a 3 stars out of 5, and my score out of 100% is going to be a pure and defined 60%. And I am very happy with the score. I thought I was done with these time loop movies, and I am at this point, but of course I'm always going to watch them if they are existing. So that's just basically an inevitable watch for me is these types of movies and any movie in general, because that's what I do. I review movies, I talk about them, I write movies as well. I love them, so that's what we're here to do on this channel. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. I will be seeing Chaos Walking later today, so there should be a video for Chaos Walking on my channel later tonight or tomorrow. And I know I'm a little bit behind on that because a lot of people have seen it already, but I'll just be now getting to it, and we'll see how that goes.